Right. If y'all ever need somebody on that.
Here. Close.
Well, right one.
Wait, I got the wrong camera on.
That one. Yeah, well, next, speak without the, just like.
Good to see you, those flashing.
I'm trying to get the right camera off. Here we go. Very good.
And I don't, run away or anything?
Okay. Let's ready to roll. Excuse my tardiness. I was having technical issues in my equipment. So, end of January. Yeah, I'm having technical issues with my equipment. Baby. It just worked 2 seconds ago. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. These are the slides. You've seen these before. If you've been to Market Mondays, again, this was put out earlier. You'll see some new ones when we get to some of the other slides. But again, the beginning of price coming down, you can see again, Charlotte is on here, Raleigh's on here. This is again an end of the year graphic that we've seen. You'll see another new one here in a second. Detroit, Michigan. It's weird. Again, this is the expected or forecasted what's going to be the bottom from the top. And our area is about the 10% mark that you'll see. So I don't know if we've seen it yet, because I really haven't seen the average price fall that far in our area yet. This is the end of year data. Our data for coming up for this January, the beginning of the year, will be out from KWRI probably in a week, is my guess. For the MLS, those reports will kick out around the 10th or the 15th. So we'll see new data probably in about 2 weeks, my guess. All right, but 37%, right? Month over month, that's what you're seeing in there, right? But then you see the volume overall in the nation down much higher than units. So that to me, what does that mean across the nation? Prices are starting to fall across the nation more, right? If you look at our region, even though the units are down 38%, 36% down in volume, right? So the average price does not come down as much as it has across the nation. And normally it's like that in our area, right? Normally we don't see those price increases as much. Contracts written off 35%, 38% here. Contracts written volume again, 43%. They're writing contracts down. The price here is what you see. Okay. Again, these are end of the year numbers. This is this is year to date for last year. I'm not going to belabor this because really my concern is what's happening right now. We're seeing that again. It goes slow, then it goes fast. Those prices begin to decrease. then you start seeing it here, sold dollar value down 24%. Okay, units sold down 30%. Okay, so again, our prices, not as much, average price. 298, 279. Okay. Again, price breakdowns. Really like to go to the graphics. Now, this is. Every Monday we pull this, right? And it is from Monday to Sunday.
People are trying to get on David King again.
Oh, boy. There's at middle. At middle. Okay, sorry, I thought someone else was managing the participant administration, not myself. So everyone's in. If you could mute yourself unless you have a question, we'll keep on going. We are to, again, the rolling last 7 days. And this is last, let me make sure. Monday to Sunday. We pull this every Monday. We pull this every Monday for the from the last Monday to Sunday. And what you're seeing again is new listings coming on. This number has S higher, still 256. It was under 200. Of course, we expect that in December, right? But you see these two beginning to increase graphically. Maybe not.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why do you see the withdrawal increase? Like, why, you said it makes sense a lot of times.
Or, you know, we're still where typically houses sell because of what your reasons. Price or condition. So they're missing those two marks, right? Price, right condition, normally it's gonna sell, right? Normally what happens is people are just asking too much money, right? There was a time where what, if you put any kind of house on the market, it pretty much was gonna sell. We were putting more houses under contract than more houses were going on the market. So our inventory just kept on dwindling. Now, people jump on later and they're expecting a number, right? Sellers are holding on to a number, maybe their neighbor got. Sellers are holding on to a number of whatever that number is, it's wrong, right? They don't get it for whatever reason. What happens to the house after it sits on the market for a long time? They're gonna withdraw it, or they're gonna, it's just gonna expire.
And would you say that, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that the ones that expired, that seller may be slightly more motivated if it's withdrawn, than they just, we're kind of seller trying to get a number, maybe aren't motivated to the extent that they thought they were, and had,
So technically,
expectations weren't really set for them for what they could actually.
could be various reasons. I mean, technically expire because that date hit and then, you know, you put a date in and then that date hits at midnight, it goes off. To withdraw a listing, technically you have to go to your agent, like, you guys don't have withdrawal rights as agents. You have, if you want to withdraw a listing, you have to go and notify the broker in charge or done it, and then they pull the listing. Because we want to make sure that you get you have to have a termination because it's broken before it expires, right? Okay. Now, there could be various reasons for that to happen. Maybe I'm mad at my agent and said, whatever, I'm hiring somebody else. Or maybe all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute. Nowadays, my wife just got fired. We're not moving. My job relocation is not working. Take my house off the market. It could be because of that. And they're not going to come back on as sellers, right? So withdrawn is a funny thing. There could be a reason why they withdrew to come back on. There could be withdrew. You're not supposed to do this anymore, but it used to be agents who would put a listing on for 7 days, withdraw it, and put it back on the market again. To look like a new listing, like every 30 days. You're not supposed to do that. Well, I don't think you can do that anymore, right? You can't do that anymore. It shows on there that you did, but I think you can withdraw it and dump it back on. Most of the time, you change it simply off the market if you're gonna go off the market. Right. But it's, every case is different. You can ask them why. Again, are they back to whatever reason, to motivate them to sell, okay? Because of those withdrawals, right? Because of the expires, we start seeing inventory, this is every 7 days, we're just seeing inventory slowly creep down. Right? So, if you're a seller, supply and demand, is this good or bad? It's good. It's what you want. There's less competition, right? Where's it gonna bottom out? I have no idea. Right? And you're not in the market unless you're on the market. That's what I tell people. Right? And you don't know when it starts to go the other way until it starts going the other way. It's too late. But still, right now, sellers are getting more money they would have 3 years ago. Most of these people's prices, I mean, it went up double digits for 3 years in a row. Right? And sometimes that party has to come to an end. And it is. So if you're trying to sell for the best money, get on the market. Get on the market right now. This is a good glitch for sellers because it was just trending the other way. Right? The other good glitch for sellers, of course, is what's going under contract. Okay, so there's a demand component of it. As you can see, what happened even through the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden there's a jump here. Because the market, if you have buyers that were considering buying before, is the market now better for a buyer than it was a year ago? Right? We talk about FHA loans, VA loans, concessions being paid, taking less than list price. I mean, there was a point in time where what? Every house we sold was over list price. Like if you didn't, like people were like, I'm gonna make a full price offer. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna get it, right? There was a time where that happened. Like you had to go over and sometimes crazier. Now it's settling back down. It's still hovering about 100%, right? But I think in the heyday, it was like 103, 104 became the average sales list price ratio. Now it's right over 100. So it's back to people are getting out of the woodworks. That pool of buyers that was out of the market right now in the past has opened back up for them. Interest rates are, I didn't even look. Off their peak. What are we looking at? Is it still under 6?
Yeah, I think they're low sixes and then you can buy down and get.
Around 6-ish, 6-ish. Around 6-ish, right? And at one point, the prediction was around 8, it was gonna go up to 8, right? But then again, when there's that, again, they move independently, depending on what's happening. People aren't gonna refi. House sales slumped across the nation, and they're gonna adjust the rate to kind of control that sales number. All right, so again, this is, let's put this in the wrong place. I need to put this in the bottom folder. Okay, let's go here. The other measure of real demand is what's happening in the market. And as you can see, I expect a slump down here. And then boom, it goes right back up. It's actually higher than what it was. Through October. It's the beginning of the third quarter. It's starting to move toward where we're in the second quarter. Again, demand is improving and you're not in it unless you're on. Get on the market. Right? Remember, you can pull this data for yourself if you're working on a listing or working with a buyer. You can go into showing time, pull the report, you can pull it for zip code. You can actually pull it for a neighborhood, but normally that's just not a good sampling size. Zip code, probably you can pull it by city, by price range, whatever it may be. Okay. You can also, that's why I when I do this. Some data by price. This is the entire MLS. So you do it by county, you do it by city, right? The graph, the numbers behind that, if you really want to nerd out on it. All right, so City View still does a market update every single week, I think it's every week. Or, yeah, it's like the end of every week, right? There's nothing new surprising here, okay? Here's Charlotte, again. People. Oh, people. Similar as us, low sales. Upper thirties, down compared to that month last year. Median price of existing home sales, we've seen that again trend downward, okay? Median for a nation, I think the median and the average are relatively close to each other. So if you look at median average for us, it can be off because the sampling size is not big enough normally. But it's been coming down, right? Available single family homes for sale, again. Still coming down. Okay.
Andy, can I ask a question?
Yeah,
What, like that price point, the 366, what is that? Where's that?
national. These are
Okay.
national numbers, national numbers. National numbers. If you want to figure out what you want to do you just go into MLS, put closed sales for whatever time period you want? So you could do closed sales from January 1 to today, if you want to just do like whatever the month was, okay? Select all of those listings. You do have to there's a button, you can select that page. You have to go to every page and select them all. And then hit the quick CMA. And it will give you average and median sales price on there and average days on market for whatever sampling you want. So the Greensburg Upper County can be done fairly quickly. Good question, Crystal. Only 54,000 new listings this week. Only, right? Pending contracts per week. Pending contract ratio for single family homes. So that's the ratio of what goes under contract versus what's on the market. Is 53, up from last week. So again, you see the market creeping up across the market, across the nation. We're happy. You see it in the numbers that we pull on a weekly basis. Demand and mortgage rates. Again, this is the end of January. So this is a couple of days old, right? Since they pulled that data. Right around 6% that we talked about. Okay. Price reductions. Remember when we went back here? Price decrease, 206 in a week. All right. So again, if you have a listing and it's not selling, get it to the right price, get it there fast. It's a discussion you'll be having upfront with people. Right? Put it on the market, test the market. If not, let's get it to the right price. Go ahead and talk about what price you're going to adjust it to before the listing goes on the market. What's the plan if people come through? When buyers reject the house, what is our plan? Negative 1.1% week over week, falling faster than expected. So 1 percentage point dropping in a week. And that's across the nation. Okay. So where we are. It seems like it's a little skeptical. Again, it's the same thing. You're hearing mixed reviews about the economy, right? You're seeing a lot of downsizing. All right. Anybody have any friends that got laid off yet? Locally? They're doing a big downsizing at my wife's firm.
I heard, there's a Raleigh by a family friend. They just laid off like 300 people.
Yep. Companies are gonna downsize. CoStar, no different for commercial data. I don't know what CoStar is. CoStar is like the commercial MLS. They do a pretty good job. If you're a commercial agent, normally you're a member of CoStar, it's fairly expensive to do that. Because what CoStar does is they call every commercial listing and they update it in their database. And as a commercial agent, you have to pay for a right to be in that database. Commercial real estate does not work like residential home sales where we kind of, like, we're the ones cleaning the data, putting the data in and making sure it's clean. Commercial people, they do, you know, if you have a commercial listing, CoStar will normally call you and say, hey, okay, tell me about what's going on. Do you sell it? Do you have anything else? Okay. CoStar also owns LoopNet. So maybe you've gone to LoopNet to look for commercial property, right? Again, talks to Dubai Move Inc., the parent company of real estate company for $3 billion. CoStar is bigger, is 3 times bigger than Zillow right now. Right, so they're a pretty big animal. In July, the Department of Justice backed out a settlement agreement with NAR, which protects the clear cooperation policy and participation rule, or to offer COBRA compensation. NAR immediately filed a petition to force the DOJ to comply. On Wednesday, a judge granted NAR's petition to force the settlement agreement that does not eliminate future investigations of these rules. So there was a big discussion about how agents get compensated. I don't want to say this, it's a little archaic. I pay you, so you get paid. Like, the fee is being paid, okay, through the seller's agent to the buyer's agent, right? Typically, like if you do commercial deals, usually commercial deals, normally the clients pay the agent directly. Like it's a fee is being paid, not through the other side. That's what that lawsuit was about. So I don't know if it's going to change or not. Apparently it's supposed to change in California. They're moving towards that, where you're going to seek direct compensation from your buyer if you're looking for the buyer. Okay. 2020 had 5.03 million existing home sales, down over 1 million sales, or 70.8% year over year, and down 1.5% month over month. Right. Again, that number is creeping downwards still. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? So it's back to you advising your clients still, right? When someone asks you, is it a good time to sell? I think it's very clear right now, it is a good time to sell, right? Or what you're gonna do is gonna watch it slowly, right? Or it slowly went down this way. Now it's upticking right now. Now, does it go this or does it go like that? I don't know. I can tell you right now, there's demand. Showings are up. All right, pendings are up. Get on the market. Is it a good time to buy? Yeah, depends. Why are you buying? Why are you buying? Gonna live here a year? Maybe not. Unless you, I mean, if you have a family of a certain size, you're not gonna live in a, the rental market could be thin around here. Some people will do that, like I'll buy a house because I want to live a certain lifestyle or a certain neighborhood or go to a certain school district, right? I'm gonna buy that house, not, the financial component is part of it. But normally if you're gonna be in it for a bit, it'll be fine.
Did you hear, Congress is trying to pass that rental, they're trying to equalize rental, like the restraint on the free market rentals? Kind of like pass rules for it, control rental rates back down.
I heard about it, I haven't heard anything else about it, right?
I was asking.
I don't know, yeah, because I mean, I would say rental rates have flattened from what they were. Because what had happened was you couldn't buy, there's a certain segment of people, if they didn't have the cash, they couldn't buy a house, they had to go and rent. So that just drove up demand for rents. And at that point, the rents just start jacking up, right? Now, is it gonna, it's just like housing prices, there's still demand on rentals, but I haven't seen them as crazy as they were, is how I wanna, say it. All right, does anyone have any questions? Slide deck will be out to you, you'll post it on Facebook. You'll see it. Go out. Talk to people. Real estate is a contact sport. I like this. Go tell it. Sell that thing. Get it on the market. List it now.
So they're limiting us on site.